Hey everyone, Angela Langlotz here, trademark and business law attorney, and today I'm standing up. I got criticized yesterday by a commenter for not moving my hands around enough. So here I am, standing up in my office, moving my hands around. Yay me. So I hope you'll all find this more interesting than me sitting down. And actually, I kind of like standing up. I actually spend a lot of my day standing up and watching, watching what I do as far as trying not to sit too much, because I heard a couple of years ago that sitting is the new smoking. And then I read a few months later that standing up doesn't actually help you either. So I came to the conclusion that it's not really sitting or standing that kills us. It's work that kills us. So that was my conclusion from that. I don't know how you all process that. Anyway, hi Haroon from Los Angeles. Glad you're here. Today, what I wanted to talk about, so I come here every day, every weekday at 1 o'clock Central. I come here to talk about trademark law. And I sometimes bring along some props, like this is my big ass mug. I drink my tea out of this because it helps me get in my liquid. So I come here, I talk about trademarks, and I answer questions, and people seem to dig that. So I started doing them every day. Today, what I'd like to talk about is what happens when your trademark gets so popular that people actually start calling the thing that your trademark is registered for your registered trademark name. What do I mean by that? For example, hey Frank, tell me what escalator, zipper, and Xerox all have in common. Does anyone know? And thank you for sharing my video, Fred. The thing that they all have in common is that people typically use the registered trademark to describe the thing that the trademark is for. For example, we used to say, hey, will you Xerox this for me? And Xerox was afraid that people would start using Xerox as a verb and a noun instead of an adjective, right? So what happens when this happens to your trademark? Your trademark gets so popular that people start calling it this, for example. People will start calling this not a facial tissue, but a Kleenex, right? This is mirror image here, so I have trouble figuring out which is left and this is right. Whoa, okay. Anyway, people will call this a Kleenex. It is not a Kleenex. This is facial tissue. It happens to be Kleenex brand facial tissue. But here's the problem. When your mark gets so popular that people start calling your mark the thing, you are in danger of losing your trademark rights. And that happened actually with zipper and escalator, right? People started calling those moving staircases, they started calling them escalators. An escalator company was like, whoa, hey, this is cool. People are calling it an escalator. But the problem is when people start calling it an escalator, it loses its distinctiveness. Now remember, to have a trademark, it has to be distinctive, right? So when your trademark ceases to be distinctive for your goods and becomes generic as a noun for your goods, you're in big trouble and you got to do something about it. Zipper, same thing happened with zipper. Instead of calling it like a zipper closure, people started calling that toothed closure a zipper, right? It was a brilliant trademark because it's onomatopoetic. It sounds like, what it does, zip, like a zipper, right? So it's great that your trademarks get popular and all, but the problem is you can actually lose your trademark rights if people start calling the thing your brand, right? So Kleenex is really careful to say, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm gonna get it really close. See how it says Kleenex brand tissue? I'm trying to hold it really still so my camera will focus on it. But it actually does say Kleenex brand tissue. Now, if people start calling it Kleenex, And I know that we all call it Kleenex, right? But Kleenex doesn't call it Kleenex, and that's the difference, right? So they're very careful here to say that it's Kleenex brand tissue. I'm going to hold it up again so you can kind of see what Kleenex is doing. See how it says Kleenex brand tissue? They are not calling it Kleenex. They are calling it tissue. It happens to be Kleenex brand tissue. Okay, so that's what you want to do. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the 70s. But during the 70s, Xerox actually ran a campaign that said you can't Xerox a Xerox on a Xerox machine, right? So they wanted their mark to be distinctive for dry reprographics, right? Which is, I guess, what you call those machines, right? Because they use dry toner to make a copy, as opposed to those mimeograph machines. Does anybody remember those? The ones that you had to crank and they came out and they were blue ink and it smelled funny and it was kind of wet. That was a wet copy. Xerox perfected dry reprographics, and pretty soon everybody was Xeroxing stuff. They were using the trademark as a verb. They were making Xeroxes. They were using the copy as a noun, right? And Xerox said, whoa, we do not want to suffer the same fate as Escalator and Zipper. We're going to make darn sure everyone knows that our mark is for copy machines. It is not the copy itself, and it is not the machine. Our machine is a Xerox brand machine, like this is a Kleenex brand facial tissue, right? So we're going to make sure that we don't lose our trademark rights. So let that be a cautionary tale to everyone. Does everyone have, yes, Google instead of search? Let's have some other one of these. So Amir said, people are now, we don't say search it on Google. We say Google it, right? And I'm sure while Google loves that, they also don't want to see that brand for their search engine become generic. I'm not sure that they're really doing anything about that, but yeah, Google has become both a noun, right? Like look on Google, not like look on the Google brand search engine, but we're saying, look on Google or Google it. Like kind of like Xerox it, right? So we want to make sure that our marks are used properly to avoid them becoming generic. So thank you everybody for your input. And if you have any comments or questions, I encourage you to go to my Trademark Doctor page, because I'm going to run this live there too. Go to my Trademark Doctor page, like and follow it, and send me a message there so that I can respond to any of your questions, and I will use those questions as topics for future videos. So for now, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you, Frank. Frank says it's excellent info. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that you agree. And so everyone have a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Facebook, 1 o'clock Central. And if you have questions about trademarks or patents or copyrights, you can find me online at TrademarkDoctor.net.